Tony is back. Tony is right there in Houston, Texas. Tony.
Yeah, Ken, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning, Tony. How are you?
I'm fine. Nice to be with you guys again.
Yeah, Miami Heat, they finally did it.
Yes, they did. Some would say against all expectations. Some would say confirming all their own expectations. But they did it, and they did it in a very emphatic style. I mean, you just can't deny them the hunger and the determination they showed to come back in the dying moments of Game 6. And the resilience of Game 7, you just can't take it away from them. And I think they're worthy champions.
We are not jumping too fast, but was it all about LeBron James this time around?
It can't be about LeBron James because he took this team. You know, when this team almost gave up. People say, okay, now Ray Allen brought them back from Game 6. It has to be LeBron James. Because if you look at the dying moments of Game 7, when the likes of Tim Duncan were missing their shots, when the likes of Green, were having very terrible shooting percentages, LeBron James came to the party with 37 points. So he just took the game at the scruff of the neck, and that is a real champion for you. You just can't go too far. I mean, it's about LeBron James. You have tried to rationalize it. Others have tried to look at it from other angles, but it was about LeBron James. He is the man.
He is the man.
He is the man.
Now he has joined. He has joined the greats. Here we are talking about Larry Bird, back-to-back MVP. We're talking about Jordan, back-to-back MVP. We're talking about Hakeem Olajuwon, Nigeria's own, back-to-back MVP with Houston Rockets. And now we are talking about LeBron James, back-to-back MVP. Has it taken a shot at some of the greatest of all time now with just 2 rings in his fingers?
Yes. You just have to put him among the greats of all time. If you want to look at it from the angle of, say, football, Diego Armando Maradona won only one World Cup, but he is highly regarded more than those that won 2 or 3 World Cups, part of the Brazilian teams of the 58, 62, and 70s because of what he brought to the game in 1986 at Mexico. So the same thing is applicable to someone like LeBron James. Fine, he has only 2. The likes of Kobe Bryant at LA, they have 5. But it's the manner and the contribution of LeBron to the success of the Miami Heat. Without him, it would have been very, very, very difficult for Miami to ever play the way they played in the past 2-3 seasons. It's just about LeBron James.
All right, Tony, the NBA draft pick took place about 48 hours ago, and there is something. Is there a sweet music that Nigerians want to hear?
Okay, the NBA draft is actually one of the packages by the NBA to ensure that the teams remain competitive. The first 14 picks of the draft each year go to the teams that miss the playoffs. It simply means that the best players go to the worst teams. So in that way, the NBA keeps evolving and always very, very competitive. The top draft of the year is Anthony Bennett. He was actually picked by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Is the first Canadian-born to be the number 1 draft. But the second draft, Oladipo Victor, from the name you should know is, at least he has Nigerian heritage. He was picked from Indiana University, and he will be playing for the Orlando Magic next year. And the second Nigerian, or at least the second person with a Nigerian heritage, is Alex Oriaki, who was the 57th pick. He was picked from Missouri University and was drafted by the Phoenix Suns. So let me talk a bit about Oladipo Victor. Oladipo Victor is the hottest property coming from the draft. He might not have been the number 1 pick, but for a lot of pundits here in the United States, he is the best thing from the draft. And a highly regarded newspaper here, Sporting News, named him as the best college player of the year. If you want to see how he plays, he's the closest thing to Dwayne Wade. So he's just a younger version of Dwayne Wade. He's a shooting guard, he's 6'4", and mean, this guy is looking to take the NBA by storm. I was just going through details of his contract. He's going to earn a minimum of about $3.5 million in his first year, and it's going to gradually go up over time. A lot of things are expected from Oladipo Victor, and the issue of who decides to play for, whether the United States, he's American, of course, or whether I decide to play for the Tigers along the line, is something we need to look at critically.
Yes, we shall pursue that. I will, if I have to go to the US and sit down with them and drag him back to Nigeria, we have to learn this is a Nigerian. Victor Oladipo is a Nigerian. He should come and play for the Tiger. America has a lot of talent. We need him here. We need him more than America needs him. But then, like always, I know you always give us a special before you leave. You said something about our team, how we're having this bonus row. You remember, the rancor that did take place right there in Namibia before we left for the Confederations Cup. Tony, what is your take on this? And do you think there is a way out of such quagmire?
Exactly, Ken. I just think that the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and in fact, all the national teams of our country deserve to be handled in a more professional manner. And I take a cue, you need to learn from other people and be innovative when you have to be. I take a cue from the Mexican team that played the Super Eagles in Houston last month. And the Mexican team, they have what you call, it's like a company set up to manage the Mexican team. So it's not, you don't have the likes of government people, no. Because you expect results from that team, you set up a company of technocrats to manage them. And that is what happens to the Mexican team. The Mexican team has lots of sponsors. The Mexican team is sponsored by Allstate Insurance. It's an American-based insurance company. So that team is playing about 20 games in 2013, and each of those games have been provided for in the budget for 2013. So it doesn't get to a point where they start arguing over bonuses or it doesn't happen in 2013 for serious people. So what I think the Super Eagles should do is to look at, number one, the legislation behind football in Nigeria. If you can tackle that, then set up a separate Team Nigeria of technocrats that is run by result-oriented people, and let them drive, not just the games, let them drive the value of, what is Nigerian football worth? I'll give you an example. The Spanish national team is worth $600 million. That is what the sponsors think they are worth, and they are sports finance experts who have valued them. The French team is worth a minimum of 300 million euros, and I think the last time I checked, the Super Eagles of Nigeria conveniently are worth about $150 million. So that is what they are worth. That is the branding, that is what they can get for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So they should set up a company. People should work on the Super Eagles as a private entity so that this thing doesn't happen. It happens all over the place. Let's get the best of the Eagles and give Nigerians what they deserve.
All right, thank you, Tony. It's been wonderful hearing from you today again. We shall, as the program goes on, we shall to get back to you. Thank you very much, Tony.
Let me say something like I didn't mention when I was talking about the basketball. Masai Ujiri, he was born in Kaduna State. He was just appointed the general manager for Toronto Raptors. He's the first African-born general manager in the history of the NBA. So beyond the players, let's remember that Masai Ujiri is the first born, not African American, the first African-born GM in the history of the NBA. He just signed, he's now the new general manager for the Toronto Raptors. Masai Ujiri, born in Kaduna, 1970.
He was born in 1970 in Kaduna. Thank you very much, Tony.
Yes.
We love this. Thank you.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
Formerly of Denver Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets, yeah.
So now we are making waves.
Yeah, we are. Enjoying.
Do we make waves abroad, and when we come back?
We make more waves over there than here.
To get positive like this after a lot of negatives coming
What about replicating same here?
But he said something, the Mexican team.
Exactly.
That
sponsors?
Each expenditure is sponsored.
Okay.
there is a company to sponsor their bonuses, all their match bonuses.
Okay.
Which means they are playing about 20 matches in 2013.
Okay.
Okay, you have a particular company that will
The
pay
company,
the bills
the
of all the
company
matches.
picks that particular bill.
Okay.
Not a wholesale sponsorship that one company is sponsoring all football in Nigeria. And they will now start talking about crayfish money and chicken money. You understand, and come in there. That they bring these things out and said, this is match bonuses, this is winning bonuses, this is transport expenses, this is accommodation.
Broken it down into
broken down into bits, and then have
yeah.
different sponsors. If you alone cannot carry it,
Okay,
Jimmy, you take transport.
Yep.
Yemi, you take match bonus. Sisi,
Official this, official that.
Exactly. And the brand is big enough to
the
market.
brand, we are African.
$150 million.
The Super Eagles are African champions. The under 23 are Olympic champion. Under 20 have played in finals of twice. Under 17 are 3 times champions. So
Falcons
are one.
We need to start leveraging. We need to start leveraging on a brand.
So
we need to understand that we are a brand first.
Yeah, well, that is what we are saying.
Of course, they do understand. I think the issue is you just have one sponsor actually taking over all the national teams. So it's difficult for other sponsors to come in because they are thinking, where are they going to leverage on? What would be their own benefits?
The main problem is the fact that they are not accountable to anybody.
Accountability and transparency.
The organized private sector will not put their money
where they are not sure.
Of
what
goes in and what comes out.
I agree with you, but let us talk about it this way. Okay. I mean, in most of the matches that the Super Eagles play, people, I mean, we have companies coming to sponsor. People place their adverts there. They go all out to do that. Okay. And we are saying, okay, fine, at this point in time, maybe Migeri said we have 165 million Nigerians. I agree with him for that.
Yes,
okay, now, if we take that figure, and also these are the people who are watching Nigerian matches in and outside the country, the exposure for that particular point in time. So you can say
it's always massive.
It's always massive, like you're saying. Yeah. And then as you Super Eagles are playing, you are acknowledging your sponsors in one way or the other. Whether in the box or whatever it is, these are our proud sponsors for this. We acknowledge that sponsor for bonuses and whatever. And after the matches, as we are giving them the bonuses, you understand it comes out. They've not actually. I think there's a breakthrough here. Maybe Nigerians will know that.
Exactly.
They said from now on, they will pay them. It is e-payment.
Yes,
they should send their domiciliary account. And then also the tax people that say they're going to tax the bonuses. That is another talk for another day.
another day.
But it's a good one with the NS even agreeing that the $10,000 is something they cannot pay anymore, so they have to agree on $5,000.
Have they agreed? They
actually came out with that proposal. That's what they intend to do.
But then again,
it's better for us to actually know to agree on it.
When do we know that all stakeholders have agreed? We don't want to have instances of you hearing.
I'm just saying, I said they
some
came
people
up with
met with certain
this
people.
Is what they said they want
it's a
to
proposal.
do. Like when you have the coach earning twice the amount of what the players are earning. The
team secretary earning almost as
much as the players and all that. Even more than 15,000 and another. So they said they want to bridge it, having it in a way that if you have the players taking $5,000, then you have the coach taking $10,000.
But then again, we can't.
Excuse me.
What about this sports policy we have been talking about?
No. So let us.
They're trying to reach an agreement. They're trying to reach an agreement here. So that they won't have these issues of players refusing to leave their hotel room, saying they can't travel because there's no money.
Part of the reasons that the players give, and let us, because Nigerians are watching us here, they're listening. They said, you said there is no money. You went with a contingent of about 16 state FA chairmen. You went with about 17 board members. They were members from the National Assembly. Now, all these people are collecting extra code. I said they were shopping, according to them. That they were they saw them shopping in.
And as long as they continue seeing them,
I don't know if they're personal money they are shopping, but they were sponsored. Personal money they are
sponsored. But they were sponsored the trip to Brazil. I don't know how much the flight will cost.
They went there on the bill of the NFL.
Now, let us agree on this.
Okay.
If we are saying the players are collecting such and such extra codes, do the officials collect extra codes? And if they do
we know how much?
That is the issue. That is the transparency here. That is the transparency.
Let us know what goes in and what comes out.
How much the chairman of the NFA collects. if he travels with them, because it is not his personal money. It is Nigerian money. He's sold it in trust for the Nigerian people. So if these things are done, the players see that transparent. That maybe the chairman of the NFA is going with 10,000. Now he's going with 2,000. He has cut off his own. So everybody will now buckle up. I have said it before. I do not. I do believe that it is football is not the only sport we have.
Of course.
So that's exactly why the sports policy is very important.
The money we are paying them
is all sports.
1 billion. I mean, since 2010, since 2002, by about 1 billion have actually been
okay, gentlemen.